Hello. I decided to start a little early. This Dave travels through time, and today we are talking. I'm talking to talk about the Seventh Doctor Appreciation Stream, um, and this is the Seventh Doctor Appreciation Stream. If you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Click the notification bell if you want to hear about more of my streams coming up when they are live. All right, guys. So I'm just gonna wait for Lee. I have to be done by 11:30 Pacific because I got to work on my job coaching that works with people with disabilities. So I'm doing that after. So I'm going to start after at 11:30. So the Seventh Doctor, we will pop in when he will. Seventh Doctor, basically, Colin Baker was fired. Michael Gray did not care for Colin Baker, and he was fired. He was offered a regeneration story. That was the only thing, and he declined it. Can't really blame him for that. And then, of course, the search was on for a Seventh Doctor, and there was screen tests, and then Sylvester McCoy, of course, did the screen test with Janet Fielding, for his screen test, and he basically was the one that got the part, and yeah. There's the screen tests and stuff. You can see those on the documentaries on the Time and the Ronnie DVD. Pretty interesting documentaries on there about how what happened and stuff. And JNT didn't want to stay on, after Colin Baker was fired. He didn't really want to stay on, but the BBC persuaded him to basically stay on. He wanted to leave. So we start off with the first story, Time and the Ronnie. Well, it's a bit of a mixed story, isn't it? Time and the Ronnie. It begins, with of course, Sylvester, the TARDIS being hit, under attack, basically, and then the Doctor crash lands on the planet of Lucertia, and then, of course, the Ronnie comes in with the tetrap. Urek, leave the girl. It's the man I want. And basically, and then of course we see it's actually Sylvester McCoy in a wig as the Sixth Doctor regenerating into himself as the Seventh. It's pretty obvious. Different facial structure, different face, nose, and everything. So it is pretty kind of obvious that it is Sylvester McCoy in a curly-haired wig. Yeah, mixed story. The tetraps look like basically these bat dogs. And yeah. That story is a mixed bag. And then I will, in the middle of when we talk about Sylvester McCoy, I'll play the spoons, since that's a Sylvester McCoy staple. I will play the spoons for you guys today. Just waiting for thee. Decided to start a little earlier, but I gave him the link. Okay, cool. Yeah, the only reason why I started a little bit earlier because I realized, I am on a time crunch here. Unfortunately, today. But it's all right. It's all good. Hello, Sadako. How are you, pal? Good to see you. Yeah, no worries, Lee. You'll pop in. Yeah, the whole, the first season of his is a mixed bag. It's a very mixed bag. Things start to pick up in the second season. Time waits for no man. Yeah, that's true. Woman. And then, yeah, I must confess, I have, excuse me, allergies. Yeah, I must confess, I do have Time on the Ronnie and Paradise Towers. I got them for a cheap price. I admit I have them in my collection. It's funny, one of my staffs, he wanted to See what that was the one she wanted to see. She wanted to see Paradise Towers. I offered her Peter Davison, and Sylvester McCoy is one of my all-time favorite doctors, and but she wanted to see Paradise Towers. I was like, okay. She seemed to enjoy it, actually. That was the one she wanted to start off with, Paradise Towers. With the Kangs, the cleaners, the caretakers. Yeah. Well, it was originally 20. Yeah, it was originally like $30, but I got it for like. Yeah, they should pay you to take them. Yeah. Oh man. Gotta admit though, it's still not as bad as Warriors of the Deep takes the cake. Warriors of the Deep takes the cake as one of the really not very good, really bad stories. I mean, the idea of it was interesting, yeah. Just came off a bit pantomime, yeah. Yeah, with the cannibals, Tabby. Oh my gosh. I remember that. Yeah, it was originally $30 was the list price for it. $30, but I got it for $8. Yeah, but it was list price was $30. Yeah, Warriors is it's bad. Especially coming after 5 Doctors. And then we get to Delta and the Bannerman. Yeah. Yeah, that one. How do I put it? It's. What's your thoughts on Sadako on Delta? Yeah, and I know, and I gotta be off air by 11:30. So. But it's fine. I don't mind chatting. So, what are your thoughts on Delta and the Bannerman? That one was right. It was set in the 50s, wasn't it? They're rubbish, yeah. No, it's all right. That's your honest, opinion. No worries. You have the right to it, Nothing wrong with that. For me, now this is my opinion. I think things start to really pick up. Now, this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I feel like I like bits of what the idea was behind Ice World and Dragonfire. I know people don't like that story, but I feel like the idea behind it was interesting. Of course, we have that ridiculous cliffhanger in part 1 with him dangling and him going expression, dangling. But I like the idea of it. Kane was an interesting villain. I thought he did a decent job. It reminded me a bit of, old school horror films, kind of, villain. Then, of course, Glitz came back as well, Tony Selby. holdover from Colin Baker era. He was, of course, introduced in the Mysterious Planet segment of Trial of a Time Lord. So he's in it. And then, of course, I was like, screw this, I'm a Trekkie now when I saw that. Yeah. It was cool seeing Ace for the first time, obviously. So she's one of my favorite companions. So it was nice seeing her. And then, of course, this is the final appearance of Mel, Bonnie Langford in that story, is Mel. So no more constant screaming from her. There is a good, departure scene with him and with her and Sylvester in that story. I thought heartfelt. And then I do like the effect of Kane's melting face in it. It was done very well, kind of very similar to. Yeah, Glitz was good. I like his character. He's kind of like bounty hunter type character. He was kind of a takeoff from kind of almost like Han Solo a little bit, almost a little bit like that, a little bit. But obviously his own, character. And I do like the melting effect of Kane. Brilliantly done. It's very, it reminds me a bit of Raiders, but I quite like it. It's done very well. I like Ace, but I wish the novels hadn't become all about here. Yeah, the New Adventures, the novels were very much about Ace. Very, very true. And then, of course, things start to really pick up with Remembrance of the Daleks. Yeah, it was horrific, but it was done well. I'm surprised I'm surprised. Was there any complaints with that scene? I'd have to look that up. But Remembrance of the Daleks things start to really pick up. Back in the 60s, 63, we get to see Coal Hill Skull again. Yeah, I've been waiting a long time for the solo. Yes, remember that. And then yes, that was Greta, wasn't it? So Coal Hill Skull, we get to see it for the first time since an unearthly child. And then, the Daleks are here, and then we get, Captain Gilmore. We get to, it's interesting with the, with the little girl as well. I quite liked her character. It was interesting. And, yeah, the ratings were way down by then. I think they were in the 3s, weren't they? Yeah, brilliantly done with the two different factions of Daleks, and then we get to see the first, scene of the Dalek coming up the staircase, never seen before in the series, and it happened, and just that look of horror on Sylvester McCoy's face, really brilliant cliffhanger. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Big, you know what? I'm going to give it higher ranks than an 8. I'm going to give that one a 9. Before I gave it an 8, I'm giving that one a 9 now. That girl was terrified. She had no mercy. Yes, she did. And, it's interesting with, the priest and kind of the relationship with the doctor in that as well. It's interesting with him, his, the minister, he has, he knows the doctor, obviously, in his Hartnell incarnation. That was interesting. That was very, very interesting. And then, of course, just everything. And then, of course, the Hand of Omega was an interesting idea. And it's just a really well done story. Really well done story. Excellent. High marks for me for that story. High marks for me for that story. Very, very good story. Very, very good story. And then, of course, he uses the Hand of Omega. Spoiler alert. If you have not seen the story, block your ears. The destruction of, Skaro and stuff, and, uses the Hand of Omega. And then, of course, Davros makes his little cameo appearance at the end, played by Terry Malloy. And, it's quite brilliant. Brilliantly done story. One person asked me, though, do you know if there were any Thals left on the planet? I mean, there might have been. Unless they were, wiped out or something. Because I know in Planet of the Daleks, obviously, they had spaceships. They had a spaceship in Planet of the Daleks, the Thals. So. Yeah, so things really do start to pick up in Sylvester. I feel like, in my opinion, things start to pick up in his second season. Things start to pick up. So yeah, is Lee definitely coming on? I don't know. I mean, I've waited. I mean, I have to leave at 11:30. I have to get off here by 11:30. So. Yeah, we'll do a watch along on it soon. Yeah. Happiness Patrol. What do you guys think of the Happiness Patrol? That one was basically a call off on Thatcher, basically. The Candyman. You know, I know some people that do like the Candyman. The Candyman. Yes. Of course, there's that infamous scene where it gets painted pink. The TARDIS gets painted pink. Yeah, it was an interesting idea. I thought it was decently done. I want to collect that story at some point. Of course, there's that classic scene with Sylvester. The pull the trigger scene. Two people in the stream, in the chat, I mean, excuse me. Two people in the chat. Or two people watching, excuse me. Then we get to Silver Nemesis. Silver Nemesis. I have that one. I wouldn't say it's as good as Remembrance. I would not say it's as good as Remembrance. I do like the Cybermen, but I don't know if that story is one of the best Cybermen stories. Yeah, that's true. It could have been. I agree. Sadako could have been showed in isolation as an art film short. Yeah, Lady Pinefort was an interesting idea, but just the story's a mixed bag. Silver Nemesis is a mixed bag. It's not awful. Yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible story. It's not a terrible story. I mean, and of course we have that kind of neo-Nazi group in that story as well. You know, I always do like David Banks. I do like David Banks as the cyber leaders, you know. Three people on the stream. Who else is here? Say hello. Who else is here? Yeah, some people think it could have been a good conclusion to the, a final end for the Cybermen in that story. No. Oh. Old life now? Okay. Yeah, I guess he's doing a stream now. Cool. That makes sense. Friday is a big stream day. So what other stories am I missing here? So I went through Silver Nemesis, went through Happiness, Remembrance. What's another story? Oh, Greatest Soul in the Galaxy was a part of the season 2, I believe, wasn't it? Oh, he's backstage. Okay, cool. Backstage, I don't see him. Huh. Backstage? Huh. I don't see him on here. Weird. Get my spoons for later. Towards the end, I'll do some spoons. Spoons lying here. I don't see you. Let me go back. No, wait, I don't want to do that because then that'll end the stream, wouldn't it? Huh, I don't see you on here as backstage. Interesting. What is going on here? Dude. Or do I have to, let's see. Yeah, because usually if somebody's backstage, all I do is add them to the stream. Huh. That's what happened with Lee, the other Lee. And, huh. That's weird. Let me go back. Let's see what's going on here. So just go type in. We type in another StreamYard thing. Let's see what's going on. Podcast Studio. Weird. Oh, okay. Now. Weird. Huh. Yeah, I don't see him. I went back. Nah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Really? Because I don't see him on here as an icon. Backstage. Weird. Something's off. Yeah, definitely, pal. You can come on. Sure. Did I send the link? Send you the link on here again. There you go. Yeah, you can definitely come on if you want. Go for it. Welcome. Okay. Yeah, see, I see you. Zaka, yeah, weird. Let's see Lee. All right.
You can't see Lee.
What?
You can't see Lee. He's not.
Yeah, I saw you, but I never saw him. I went back and nothing.
Right. I think he's gonna. Am I getting an echo?
No, you're fine.
Okay. I think he's going to log back out and come back in. So maybe that might help.
Yeah, that'll probably make a difference.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right. Idea if you. So where were we anyway? What were we up to? We're up to a greatest show, aren't we?
Yeah. So what did you like about that story? Did you like that story at all?
It grew on me, I have to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because it is it's an oddball, isn't it? It's like it's quite comical, but it's like as it progresses, it gets kind of more eccentric.
Yeah.
And more and dark. It's like it is one of those.
Yeah.
You'll never see a story like it anywhere else.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I find it really interesting, actually. And then there's that jingle, isn't there?
Oh, I was that one. That one's an earworm, isn't it? You kind of just you never forget it once you stop watching, do you?
No.
And like I just love the indifference of the locals whenever anyone's getting hunted down and taken back to the psychic circus. Like you got that woman with the stall, and she's like, she watches. Was it Bellboy who was getting? No, it wasn't Bellboy. It was the other guy who was getting. They all had hippie names, didn't they? But like she's like she sees him kind of fall to the ground, and say, "Please help me," and then they take him away, and all she says is there no end to you weirdos?"
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then there's WizKid, of course, and like she thinks he's quite nice at first because he's quite well dressed, and then he's like, "Do you know the way to the psychic circus?" And then just a face falls. It's like, "Oh God, another one."
Yeah.
I'm going to mute myself and see if I can call Lee again and see if I can find out what's up with him.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll figure this and sort this out. Oh, it's already 10:37. Dang.
Yeah, he says he's coming out and in, so we'll just look out for him backstage.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So what kind of prompted the Seventh Doctor revisit? Have you been in a bit of a McCoy mood?
Yeah, I mean, he is one of my favorites, so I get decided, oh, well, I've done Tom, I've done Peter. I decided, why not?
When did you first discover him? What was the first story you saw of his?
Well, they did the regeneration stories, right? So it was basically one part of each regeneration story. That's how I first saw him. They were doing a pledge drive. And
so you started with Time and the Rani. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, here he is.
Oh, is he? Cool. Bring him in.
All right, he's here finally. There he is. Lee Anthony.
Finally. Hello.
Eventually got there, eh, mate? Eventually got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how are we today? Have we been very busy? What have we been doing? I'll tell you what I've been doing. I've been doing my own show on YouTube. I do it every day now. I'm at 3
Oh
o'clock
yeah, I
in the
give you a
morning,
like on one of
6
them. I
o'clock.
like that. Yeah.
I missed
Yeah, I've
that
been
one.
doing that. So I've been busy on that. I'm about one off from the horror group. I'm a horror group. 100.
Yeah.
100 members.
That's a lot of
It's
people.
one
yeah.
away. One away. Just one
Awesome.
person I need today, and that's it. I've got the number.
Yeah.
And then the horror group is fantastic. 422.
Wow.
And then the official Doctor Who group, 346 or 44. And what's the other one? Blake 7, the new group I've just started. That's on 50. So I'm
Nice.
doing pretty well, these groups. They're going bonkers at the moment.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So I'm
Well, that's good,
hoping
'cause Hello?
I'll get some good stuff going, you know. I've also on Twitch yesterday. Get a load of this. I went on Twitch yesterday, right? I did my live broadcast there, and I did what I was going to do, you know, promotion and stuff. And then I decided to have a look around, see what it was about. So I went onto the live stream, and then there was these three nutters on the live stream, completely doolally tapped they were. They were effing and blind. And one of them soaked off, and another. And I thought, what the fuck is this?
That's
I
funny.
couldn't believe it. I never expected that to happen. I thought everyone's well controlled on Twitch. I thought they're all sort of well immersed. Everything's professional. These guys would have made the Three Stooges look professional, man.
The Three Stooges look for us. Wow, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Oh, God.
No, I think I don't think I had any illusion about Twitch being any other way. I thought it's always a kind of a big egos den, wasn't it?
Yeah. Big egos, yeah.
I do know it's a lot of gaming going on. I don't want gaming. I want to just do my stuff, you know. At the moment, I've got 3 bloody followers. That's about it.
Mm.
No, I think I've got a long way to go on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was controversial and said everyone's an arsehole. Do you think I'll get more viewers?
No, there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
I hate you, you bastard. I hate you. You're crap.
Yeah, I think you're right. No way. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I owe you an apology because when I put you on my group, I called you goof instead of good.
I thought that was funny, actually. I like
So-
that one.
What I made was I pressed the bloody F or the F on my keyboard instead of the bloody B. But I did it so quick I didn't even know. I was just going because I was putting about 10 or 15 people in other groups at the same time. I was just rushing them like that. So when I looked at it, I realised what happened.
Yeah, that's all good. I thought it was funny,
It's
actually.
my goof, mate.
Yeah.
You goofed there, yeah. So what's your memories of McCoy?
1989.
I mean, were they good memories or not?
Let me have a look. Let's see. Sylvester McCoy started off rather crap.
Yeah. We all agree.
Right? He started off as this sort of what was it, whimsical character, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't know what the hell was going on with this guy. And the worst story I saw was with Victor Bryce playing this bloody fucking, I don't know, caretaker,
Oh,
the robot bloody fucking nutcase or whatever. Looked like Adolf Hitler or Nazi. He was hitting McCoy against the wall like that. And I thought, what the bloody hell's this? And then you got a guy called Pex who's scared of everybody. He's meant to be the big. And I thought, who wrote this garbage? Surely not Clark.
The cleaners. The cleaners.
I wonder if Chippo wrote that story when he was a young lad.
Thing is, like, there's some like 80s stories you look at and you think, you know, just see embarrassing moments like that, and you just think, I'm with Michael Grade on this one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll be honest with you, though. I'll be honest with you. My point with Sylvester McCoy wasn't the fact that, in my opinion, he wasn't the right person for the role. He came off the back of the biggest catastrophe what had gone on before. So,
Yeah.
and on top of that, they didn't put him up with some really good actors when they did the bloody screen test, right? They put him up with average actors, so it made him look good.
Yeah.
If it had been put up with some real good actors, it might have been a different story. Because JNT wanted him. Gary Crowley, his so-called partner, wanted him. But bloody Powell says, no, I don't want him. I want him to take a screen test. I'm not going to go by your word alone, John.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said that exactly. He says, I'm not going by your word. I want to see this guy put through the bloody mill to prove that he's worthy enough. Because I'm giving you one more chance to get this right. He says, after the Colin Baker fiasco, I don't want another repeat of this. But the problem with Powell was he wanted it off the bloody air anyway. He's just playing games, you know what I mean? No, you never see anybody. You never see Eric Seward. You never see any of them, right? He'd never come down. He'd never engage with them on the floor. He'd never find out what's going on. He was more interested in making bloody dramas. He's giving the money to the drama department, not the bloody department. So what they expect with bloody picking sets and everything. It's not their bloody fault. It's what they had to bloody play around with. And with bloody scripts, they were bloody dishonest. They weren't very good, right? The 87, it picked up a bit for him in the next season, I must admit. I didn't like Body Langford. I hated Body Langford. I hated that. I'm going to scream until I'm sick. And Joss William. I hated her. I couldn't stand her. She was a bleeding pain in the. She's like a boil on your backside. You want to laugh. So anyway, no word of a lie, right? Eric Sayward. I think also what's he called? Levine. Ian Levine. Yeah. Right.
The Rottweiler.
This was the final straw. He says, "You're not going to honestly pick Bonnie Langford, are you?" She said, "Well, she's got red hair. You know, what's the problem with that?" She said, he loved her because he had red hair, and he thought it'd be perfect. Because remember, Nathan Turner was good at pantomime, right? And when you look at how Bonnie Langford was, she was in pantomime. She's a very good on pantomime. She's been band or something with a guy called Corey who was doing children's Saturday store or something at the time, but not that time. A few years, so they worked together. And Sarah Green and all that lot were there. And Eric Seward, I keep playing Seward. You feel like it's Eric Sewer. No, Eric Seward, right? Wasn't happy. He says, "You're joking. You're not going to pick." You know, it's like Levine. He walked. He didn't want to know. He said, "This is the final straw for me." He says, "I said Bonnie Langford." He's only gone and picked Bonnie Langford because Turner was renowned for this. He picked Colin Baker because he told good jokes at a party. That's how he got him. He says, "Oh, he's the life and soul of the party. He's on form today. Yeah, Colin Baker's my doctor." But what about the fucking rest of it? You know what I mean? You can't just pick a bloody actor because he smiled at you or he told good jokes. That is why Turner bloody picked him.
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty. I've seen clips of him in The Brothers. He did a pretty good job in that, from what I've seen.
He played good baddies, right? He played good baddies. He was in. Did you ever see Blake Seven? He played Barben, the pirate or whatever, the cutthroat. You know. He gave a good pantomime performance. There, he played a bit of Athos. And he was really saying, you know, he says, "Well, Miller says to him, he says, 'Oh, you've always been my favourite villain of all time.' He says, behind Blake. He says, behind Blake, I'll tell you, I was working my way up when Blake just took, took shortcuts," he says. So it was good, right? He says, and he says, "If you don't open that door, I'm going to open you from here to here." With his knife. That was Colin Baker's playing the baddie there. And he was always playing baddies. Let's get it right. I mean, when was he playing a goodie? The Doctor was his only role. And even when he played the bloody Doctor, he strangles his bloody assistant.
Yeah.
He has his fucking hands around Perry's neck. You know, what do we call Perry's? An evil fairy. You know, oh, the bloody, who wrote that crap? Why do it? I couldn't understand. Why the hell did you make him wear a bloody Technicolor dream coat, Turner? What's it to do with your bloody personality? Why didn't you give him Hawaiian shirts to wear and have done with it?
In a clash above the rest, it even went well with his vest.
You see what I'm getting at? It was all Turner. Even Peter Davidson said that most of the personality he tried to put on his character was John bloody Nathan Turner trying to impose his bloody personality on. Davidson didn't want nothing to do with it being a professional actor. He wanted to play the way he did. But Colin Baker was so grateful for the bloody role that he didn't want it told. That's where the problem was. He didn't stand up to Turner and says, no, you can take this bloody coat and sling it on the bloody bonfire, you know, with the rest of the bloody BBC bloody acts upstairs. This is a load of rubbish, I would have said. I would have said, you know where that belongs? Give it to Wurzel Gummidge on ITV. It might go well with his bloody costume, you know. He fits in very well, bad taste and all that. But blimey, Colin Baker, right? This is no lie. Colin Baker wanted to wear a black leather coat. That's what he wanted. He wanted to look normal, you know, not bloody abnormal. But that's what Turner did. Turner was a complete bloody idiot when it came to running the show. He had no skills. He was a bloody floor manager. He worked his way through the bloody John Pertwee era, Tom Baker era, and when he became bloody showrunner, because other bloody producers had walked out, Turner went floating to the bloody top because he was up their arse all the time. You know, the BBC's bigwigs. That's how he got the bloody job. He's arse licking. But you know, Turner was bloody good at talking. He loved talking. So he could talk the bloody hind legs of a bloody cow. That's why he got the bloody job, because they liked his presentation. Apart from that, we saw what he could do, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, they should have. I think if James should have left anyway, it's the Five Doctors. I think if he'd left there, that'd be a good point for him to leave on, and the show would have probably done well. I think, you know, that was
the joke was right. The joke was he didn't want to use the old writers like Bob Holmes. He wanted to bring in all the other writers. You know, they've got no science fiction, bloody experience whatsoever, and that's what happens if you leave the bloody sweetness out of the cake. A cake, but that's all it'll be. It won't be a cake because it'll be bleeding horrible. It might look good, but it tastes bloody horrible, and that's what it leaves you, a bad taste in your mouth. And that's why I was angry when he bloody appointed Colin Baker on the strength of his bloody telling jokes at a party. It all happened when he was Maximus in bloody Arc of Infinity, right?
Yeah.
And one of the producers' wives or daughters or whatever was getting married, and Jane Lee Turfer brought Colin Baker to one side. He says, "This is not the bloody Maximus show. It's the bloody. It's the Doctor. It's Doctor Who." You know, because he was sort of becoming centre of attention as the guard. He was getting too much bloody projection on the cameras. And Nathan Turner, that was the only time he had him to one side about it. But then he invited him to the bloody party. And he told all these bloody jokes and bloody, you know, if I told jokes like he probably I'll get a fucking job in Hollywood, you know, if I went up to the right bloody person. But anyway, the point was, he got the job not by credibility. He can act, but he's not what you call a leading man. He's all right.
What you're saying is he was a good choice but badly chosen.
Well, he's all right for the theatre. He's not a leading man. He's not like Sean Connery carrying James Bond. He's not like William Shatner carrying Star Trek. He's fronting the bloody show. Colin Baker could not front that show in a million years.
Right.
Never mind the scripts. If you're a bloody good actor, right? Peter Davidson was bloody good with a crappy actor to work with. I'm surprised he cracked his face with laughter because they had a lot of takes. With some of those bloody words he had to say, he must have been laughing his head off. He didn't understand half of them. Tom Pertwee was the same. He would look at it and say, "Oh, this is not going to work." Tom Baker would literally say, "I'm not having this. I'm going to write this in instead." You know, he wrote his own bloody dialogue into the bloody script.
Yeah.
The problem with Colin Baker, he was so grateful to get the bloody job that he did what he was told. He even did that daft bloody Doctor in Aid bullshit, you know, where they all got all these pop stars together like
Yeah.
a Band-Aid crap. It was bloody awful. It's the sort of thing you torture somebody with. You tie him up to a chair. If you don't tell me where your money is, mate, I'm going to play you this record. I'll show you the video that goes with it. He'll talk, I'll tell you, after seeing 2 minutes of that rubbish. And even Colin Baker admitted he shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have done it. He didn't do his credibility doing it. Even Nicola bloody Pageant couldn't reach the high notes. Have you ever seen that video?
I've seen it.
But BBC will dare not to show
On YouTube,
anymore.
Yeah. I've seen it on YouTube, yeah.
How embarrassing is that, eh? It was a good idea. It was a good idea at the time. They said it was a good idea at the time. That's the 1980s for you. It was a bloody technical Dreamcoat a good idea at the time. If I could take the time machine out, I could say, "No, it's a terrible idea, mate. Don't wear it. You'll never live it down." That is what he's remembered for. That bloody coat, not for his acting, is that bloody coat.
Well,
Yep. True.
but so
Do you agree with me on that one?
would you say with
Mhm.
Do you agree with me on that one?
pretty
It's
much?
the cult really that people will remember him for, not for a strong performance he did in
Yeah.
the trial of the Time Lord, but that bloody coat. Why wear that bloody
Yeah.
coat? Why can't you take it off or throw it down somewhere? Get it rid of it. You've worn it. John Nathan Turner's got over his fucking hangovers, and then he can fucking get on with the bloody job. I would have preferred him to wear something like a leather jacket,
Yeah.
darker clothes. Look at the darker Doctor. He
Yeah.
made him a bloody joke, a bloody
Pantomime, yeah.
pantomime Doctor.
Yeah.
Like when he wore that cloak in Revelation
It was
of the Gods.
pantomime what he was doing, you know. That's why I was so surprised he couldn't get. He couldn't get the story. I mean, the Twin Dilemma. What the bloody hell was all that about? That laughing, joking, bloody monster. Played by Edwin Richfield. I mean, Edwin must have been fucking thinking, God, I'm glad I'm wearing his costume because nobody will see me. But with Colin Baker, they all saw him. And you know what the worst mistake? I put the Twin Dilemma on the back of the case of Androzani. You've got to be joking, John. Everyone will know what Colin Baker is. They've seen his acting on bloody television. Don't put him on after that because that story is shit. It won't be good enough to go up against the case of Androzani the next day.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
True, yeah.
Because it was absolute
Yeah.
bloody dross. Have you ever seen that bloody story? Blimey, that bloody
Yeah.
monster. What a joke. I don't know if it could ever move. If it did, it'd probably fall over. Was it the Malcolm's cousin by any chance?
It was I couldn't get past the Twin Dilemma's first cliffhanger for years. Because like the ending is like you got him and Perry bickering over Hugo, who they've just
Right.
rescued. And the
Right.
first thing he does is he pulls his gun and says, you must have attacked me, even though they've taken him to safety and they haven't even disarmed him.
Mhm.
And I'm like watching, thinking the Doctor could kick him easily and disarm him. And I don't even care if he does kill the Doctor because the Doctor's been an absolute jerk. So I was like, done with this. You know, I lent it off a friend and said, you know, now I've seen it, now I know what the thing is. I don't need to see any more.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon they should have put this episode or adventure and put it on another time and day? I mean, it wouldn't have done it any other.
I don't think it should have ever heard.
I mean, that's probably the best they were going to do at that time anyway, let's face it. Because Nathan Turner was changing the bloody whole thing again after Davidson left. So that's what we got. We got that. That wasn't written by bloody Robert Holmes, I can assure you. Would have been dead bodies everywhere. Robert Holmes would be writing it.
Yeah, I think it was written by somebody from All Creatures Great and Small, I found out. Yeah.
Yeah, and did you know John Nathan Turner works on All Creatures Great and Small? That's why he chose Peter Davidson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pure nepotism, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that's why I thought you don't get a showrunner to pick your own team like that because it's horses for bloody courses, right? Tom Baker was never had any connection with with the bloody program before he took it on. Had nothing. He didn't know nothing about it. He just saw it as another acting role. He didn't
Right.
know how to play the Doctor. He thought, right, how can I play the Doctor? And Barry Letts says, I'll leave it to you, Tom. You know, he says, I would like you to be sort of eccentric, which Tom Baker was anyway.
Yeah.
So it was easy. He's playing Tom Baker. He wasn't playing some character. He was playing himself. That's why it worked so well.
Have you ever met him, Tom Baker?
And also, Tom Pertwee, right? Everyone knew how good he was as a character actor. He was a good voice actor. He'd done the Navy Lark. He'd been around in film. He worked with Troughton and Hartnell in the early days. So they knew each other. And he knew how to play that part. He knew, because every role you've watched him playing, he's got a sort of strength about him, a presence about him, that will project it well to the audience. He engages with the audience. Now, when you get Colin Baker, he's trying to enforce himself on the audience. He's bloody desperate. They don't know how that character's going to work. So the problem was, if Colin Baker had been allowed to create that character in his own image, it might have gone, because he played some bad villains, so it might have worked well if he had shown his strong side. That would have gave it a bit more, because I think that we needed a darker side to go down after Peter Davidson. You know, we couldn't have sort of Mr. Nice Guy all the way through.
Yeah.
But Colin Baker was, I know that the writing has to be the bloody blame for it. The writing wasn't there. You could tell the way they were directed, the way they projected themselves, the way the lines were delivered. It was bloody awful. I don't know. The Twin Dilemma, I don't know whether they should have moved it to moved it to January, you know, because people are still savouring the case of Androzani. Then suddenly they get this fucking phone. Is it Doctor Who? They're thinking, what is this?
Yeah.
Because remember, first impressions count. First impressions always count. And if you lose the audience on that impression, you've had it. So what do you reckon, Thomas Sadako? What do you think?
About Colin?
About Baker, yeah.
I think he was a good. I think he could have been a great Doctor, but like again, as you say, the writing often let him down. I think Twin Dilemma was a terrible start.
Why do you think he was better in Big Finish than he was in the TV version?
He was a bit more seasoned. The writing was better. There'd been like a long rethink of what could have worked about him.
There's a total difference there, you know, with Big Finish and the television version, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Now, why didn't they do it like that for him?
Didn't have the talent.
And the bloody, the plot, you got a point there. There wasn't talent around. I mean, the best talent was in Bob Holmes, because he knew how to write that sort of dark sort of episodes. He knew how to do them. But the problem with Bob was he got carried away.
Yeah.
He doesn't want you just to die. He wants your record splattered all over. He wants dramatic. That's why Mary Whitehouse was always on at him.
Yeah.
I mean, down on the BBC, I called her the Rottweiler, me. All she was a bleeding busybody snapping at your heels. You know those old Jack Russells? They're always snapping at your heels and trying to kick them away. They keep coming back, biting your bloody ankles. That was her.
Yeah.
So anyway, Sylvester McCoy, right, didn't get off to a good start. We all know that. But started to pick up towards the end of the second season when we got rid of Bonnie Langford, right? Admittedly, it wasn't Doctor Who. It wasn't like a science fiction with her in it. You could tell a mile off. It was more, I don't know, it was more light entertainment with her in it. Not a science fiction bloody program. I know they've had some dubious casting calls before, but I mean, she has to take the biscuit. You see, the reason why John wanted her in, right, because she was good at screaming.
Mhm.
She was
Yeah.
stonk casted. That's the reason, not for her acting ability, because she's not that sort of actress. Right? I don't know. I mean, I think she's been in EastEnders since, but I mean, you can't really count that. EastEnders is not really acting, is it? It's a sort of throwaway. It's a sort of poor man's Coronation Street. That show always has been. But in my opinion, right, Bonnie Langford was all right for the pantomime.
Yeah.
She was all right for that, but not for sort of a serious role, because it was really meant to be serious when you do this program.
Yeah.
With a bit of humour thrown in, like Blake Seven. Now that is how to write a bloody program. I mean, the man that wrote that was bloody Terry Nation.
Yeah.
Why did the BBC use Terry Nation to write that? Why didn't they ask him? Why? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because of Nathan Turner didn't want him.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Terry Nation. The problem with Terry Nation is he lived in America at that point, and he wasn't keen to write for the show anymore.
Well, he didn't want to write because they're always bloody over his shoulder. He had problems with them all the bloody time. This is not right, Terry. Can you take it back and do it again? And
Yeah.
there again, it was a bit of a con man. He used to sell them the same script twice, for the title. Like he'd be Planet of the Daleks, and then Terry Litch says, "Look, this looks very familiar, Terry. We've been down this route before. You sold us this script 7 years ago."
No, but he could pen a good page turner, Terry. Like, if you watch a story, you kind of want to know what happens next. He was good at that.
Yeah. But you got to ask yourself the question, right? If he's what bloody BBC when he's doing Blake Seven, so why didn't he do bloody Doctor Who instead and take over the bloody whole thing? Because he would have been perfect. I mean, him and Douglas Adams would have been a great team to work with. Because it's nothing to do with being America. Nothing to do with being America. Ricky Gervais is in America, but he's still right. He doesn't stop.
Oh yeah.
So there again, that's nothing to do with it, right? Don't matter because you're in America means you can't do it anymore because you're in America.
Right.
You're a writer. That's what you do. That's what you do. It doesn't matter. You could be in Mars or bloody the moon. You're still right. It's not stopping you. It's just the BBC. Turner didn't want Terry Nation to write because he doesn't want those writers in. Like I said, all he wanted to do was bring his bloody team in, the bloody Levines and people like that.
Yeah.
Hangers on. Like I said, remember what I said to you about 3 weeks ago? He go into a BBC studio of all those little fans, spend more time with those idiots than the bloody actual studio and the cameraman and the bloody scriptwriter. They're all waiting outside the bloody door, waiting for bloody Turner to bloody finish his bloody interview. They want a bloody decision, and he's bloody giving stupid interviews and cowering to the likes of Chris bloody Chibnall and his little friends in the Rehabilitation Society, for God's sake. They shouldn't have got a bloody platform. God, Father.
Yeah.
That's what the problem was. He wanted to be loved, right? You can't work it like that.
No.
That's all he wanted. He wanted to be loved by everybody. Come on, mate. You're living in a dream world when you think like that. You've got to take the criticism as well as the good.
Did you reckon McCoy's last season was good?
Yes, I did.
So we're going to get into that now. Battlefield, opinions?
Battlefield was all right. It wasn't brilliant, but I didn't like the idea of the medieval thing and the future. It reminded me of that game that we played. You go into a game show or whatever, gameplay or whatever. You got all these
LARPing.
Firing at each other like a game. I don't know what it was called. It's like futuristic guns with mixed medieval. I think it is. It's just a game, you roll the dice and you it's like toy soldiers in a way. But anyway, that to me, I just felt that took me out the scene a bit. I just didn't think Monster went well either. It's something that's been copied from another model. It's been taken from somewhere else. Could have been Blake 7.
What about the Brigadier comeback?
Say that again, sorry.
What about the Brigadier? What about the Brigadier's comeback?
The Brigadier was a fan pleaser, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because let's face it, people watched it when he was on it, right? But the problem was he's getting too old, so he can't play the Brigadier anymore. You know, as you saw, he was getting slower. He was no longer, and that happened in 1983. He was no longer the Brigadier then, was he? He was actually a teacher. Now they were going to bring in Ian, from Ian and Barbara. He couldn't play it, William Russell, so they had to bring. That's why Nicholas Courtney got the job.
Yeah,
because they were right around William Russell to do that in 1983 in the Mordrin Undead.
Yeah,
but he couldn't do it. He had commitments. Otherwise, he would have done it, and he would have had Nicholas Courtney, and that would have been it. That would have been the end.
That's true.
And Nicholas Courtney in Doctor Who, 1975. But like I said, it was a sort of mixed bag, the Battleship. But I thought G. Marsh was bloody good.
Yeah.
Because she was married to John Pertwee. Did you know that?
I knew, yeah.
Yeah, in the 60s. She's been in Doctor Who many times before. I think she was in the, what was it? The Dalek Master Plan, was it?
Yeah,
Your Kingdom, that's right, yeah.
And she was in the Crusade.
Dalek Master Plan. She was also in that medieval historical one.
Crusade, yeah. Crusade.
So she'd been around. She'd done a lot. Doctor Who. So she was ideal to be matched off as a baddie. You know, you could believe her because she had that evil contempt in her eyes when she looked at you.
Yeah, she was good. Yeah.
No, the best one for that was Willow.
As for the two medieval knights.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
You were saying, go on.
Oh yeah,
Willow was a really good film.
Yeah.
Well, I think Gene Marsh was really good in Willow and really good in Return to Oz, as those kind of villain kind of thing. Because
you see, the problem with that was the accents were wrong. They were sort of middle class. I don't think they talked in middle class, in the 15th century.
Yeah.
I think that's over development of the human race going into the 20th century when we started to sort of pronounce the word better, stop using broken English like Shakespeare had us doing, like, oh, out, not lovely, more contemporary. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. Anyway, but I just felt those actors were a bit too posh for medieval knights.
Yeah.
He did someone that was believable. That's the problem with Nathan Turner. He used to get in these fairy tale characters all the time.
Yeah.
What he liked, That's the problem with Turner. He always brought in what he wanted to do, and it didn't work. I felt the story was a bit convoluted. There was too much time given to the bloody knights with the dialogue. Too much exposition between the commander, or was it Angela Douglas who played Angela? What's her name? The one who played the Brigadier.
Angela Douglas, yeah.
Right? There was too much time given to those two fighting on the bloody floor. What was the point of that? It just didn't make sense. It was saying like they were behaving like a husband and bloody wife, and I felt there's a bit cringy that because she's meant to be a stern bloody soldier, and if he's a medieval knight, he's not going to be saying my mom and all that rubbish. He's going to be using his sword a lot. But the point was, what I'm trying to get at is, it just did it. It was everything wrong with it. The only people that worked well was G. Marsh. The other guy who played his son, I don't know what his name was. You know, the one that played the evil son?
Yeah. I've got his name. You got mute.
Uh-oh, what happened? Hello?
He's got mute.
Hello?
Lee, you've got mute on us.
Oh, dear.
What's
Connection.
Zach's name? For what? There am I, back.
Okay.
Mm.
Did you see me?
We
Yep.
we can hear you again. You went mute for a minute, for a moment rather.
There we are. We're back in the game, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next we do.
Right, what I was saying was, he was all right. He was all right as the knight because he
Yeah.
played the evil.
Yeah.
But the other guy looked too goody for me.
Yeah.
It just didn't work. And also, the problem with the monster was it looked like Dungeons and Dragons type of thing.
Yeah.
It had that feel of Dungeons and Dragons, you know, especially with the monster.
Yeah.
So, Battlefield for me was a sort of mixed bag.
Yeah.
Same with me. I thought it was mixed bag. What about you, David?
I thought it wasn't bad. I didn't think it was the best story. I'd probably give it a 7.5.
Fair enough.
I'll give it an halfway. I'll give it an halfway house. That's 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So next one is Ghostlight, isn't it?
Yep.
That was all right if you understood it.
That was pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit hard to grasp at first,
I
for
think they
sure.
put too much into it. They made it too complex to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten it really. Well, I mean, I get it. I feel like every time I watch,
It's a big deal with the insect.
they were in. I
What's
think
the
they were
big,
meant to be in
big
stasis.
deal with the insects? Mate, you know? Who's speaking, me or you?
I think the insects were supposed to be in suspended animation for because the ship was meant to chronicle human life and life on Earth. To kind of put the insects in stasis to study them, and that's kind of. And then because the computer goes mad because it realizes that that life on Earth keeps evolving, it explodes. It kind of goes crazy and starts wanting to kill everyone.
Yeah, I just felt there was too much anticlimax with where they do those cliffhangers. He had too many of them.
Yeah,
it never turned into anything, you know. And that woman, Sharon Juice, who played that, I don't know what she was playing. She played some sort of thing or whatever she was. I don't know. She was coming up from the lift, and that's where it all ended for the moment. And
Control.
I don't know what that was all about. I don't know what she was meant to be about in the first place. I don't know what she was.
Oh, Charlotte says.
Oh yeah, Ghostlight watch along on Saturday. Yep.
Charlotte's first time.
Yeah.
I watched. My first time was back in 2004. Watched it at Christmas, and I didn't get it. I really didn't get it. I'm not sure I ever really will.
I saw it in '89 when it came out, when it was broadcast.
Well, you stuck with the show.
I was still watching it. Yeah.
Did you ever have any moments of doubt where you're like, "Oh, I'm out," or did you die hard to the end then?
No, I just watched it just to see it through to the end. You know, I knew it was coming.
Fair enough. What about you, David? What did you make of it?
Well, I saw it when I was like 10 back in 2000, and it confused me. It confused me.
Yeah. So vote rating.
Well, what about Sophie Aldred? Do you think you began to understand what kind of character she was? Because that was what this was really about, wasn't it? Sophie Aldred playing Ace. Because this was her nightmare, wasn't it?
I'm going to be honest. I think I preferred Sophie. I think I preferred Ace when she was just a bit of a fun character. When they started to take her that seriously, I think it kind of. I drifted away from fandom there. I thought, look, you know, she's not really meant to be kind of this dramatic character. I thought.
Well, it's the same with Sarah Jane Smith, wasn't it? They made her more of from a tough woman into the usual doctor. I need your help.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Well, so they got that sort of strong feminist approach in 1973 after the first episode, and she still needed to rely on the doctor to get her out of situations. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It was a strong character, but they didn't want her to sort of be too strong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
So anyway, but with Ace, they did the opposite, didn't they? They made her stronger.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah.
was, she challenged the Doctor a lot. She challenged the Doctor on his motives. That was the point. She wasn't questioning his ability. Who is he? Who is this man?
Mm.
Well, who have I come with? You know, I
Yeah.
don't know anything about you. You know, that sort of thing. And it all came to a head in Ghostlight
Yes.
Yeah.
because she said, "You brought
Mm.
me back here. You knew exactly what this was. Perivale. You know, Perivale was her nightmare. This is where she had when she was a child. Because you got the backstory, so I understood that. So I didn't bother with the rest of it, the insects and the bloody. Was it Ian Smith? Was it? I don't know his name. Ian something. The one that was playing that protagonist.
Oh, I don't know.
And then you had what's he called? In from Dead Cars. What's he called? Frank Windsor.
Oh yeah, he passed away recently, didn't he?
He played the policeman, and now he's put in the bleed on reason and put on ice. I wonder.
Yeah.
Lee.
He's back in the bed. Keeps on freezing and coming back.
Yeah.
About needing draw.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Bloody StreamYard.
Yeah. Mhm.
What do you rate the story anyway?
I'd probably rate it it sounds mean. 6.5.
You're not keen on it then? Okay, fair enough.
It's just because it confused me too much. I think that's why. If I understood it more, I'd probably rate it higher.
I don't know.
How would you rate it?
Probably similar. I mean, it's like you say, you got to feel. It's nice to feel on the same page as the story. When you just feel like you're not even able to get into it, he's gone. So,
Yeah, he'll come back probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Have to watch out for him on backstage. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like the whole, I mean, I sometimes wonder if maybe that's because I've only ever seen the video version. And I think maybe if I watch the extended version, apparently the Blu-ray has got a really good extended version. And, that's a really worth one. Yeah, Charlotte's fearing confusion is ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I feel like Curse of Fenric, though. I really enjoyed that one.
Yes, that is a good one. I'm not so keen on the how can I say it? The kind of Soviet propaganda bit.
Yeah.
I'm not so keen on that. It's like, look, the Soviets were not the good guys in World War II. They helped us win against Hitler, but they were led by an absolute tyrant who was not much better than Hitler.
Yeah, and then I found the Homivores interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good. They were good indeed. Apparently they were supposed to be vampires, but for some reason John Nathan Turner didn't want them referred to as such.
Yeah.
Like, because I've read Andrew Cartmell's biography, and like he said, he was really annoyed that John decided against that. It's like he was always being difficult like that. And for the honest reasons. I mean, maybe it might have been a because of after the cancellation crisis, they thought, well, we've got to keep this clean. Anything that suggests vampires might be pushing them, and like when Andrew Cartmell first got the job, he was interviewed by Jonathan Powell, and Jonathan Powell said, "What do you think of Doctor Who is about?
Yeah.
Who do you think Doctor Who is for?" And Andrew Cartmell said, "I think it's for everyone. I think it's like its potential to speak to all ages." And Jonathan Powell kind of browbeat him and said, "No, Doctor Who is for children." And that's when he realized the BBC just wanted to keep it sanitized.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was very disappointed, but he, like, slowly over time, he kind of, rebelled against that. And he tried to find ways to rebel, but maybe that was one where John folded and thought, look, we can't really explicitly say these are vampires on, because we might get in trouble, because, like, the scripts had to pass through the head of serials before they could be approved, didn't they?
Yeah.
Head of Zeros at the time, I think, was Peter Green, and in the end, he decided to cancel the show.
Yeah. And then I quite enjoyed in the story that the chess match. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Black wins.
Mhm.
Yes, that was good.
So how would you rate that one?
I did it quite high. That's a 9 for me. And
Yeah,
the thing is, you watch it and you think, because the first episode starts so strong, and you're thinking, this show looks like it's got 10 more years of life left in it, not 4 weeks.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah, you think there was still more that they could have done, and I think.
Yeah, right when it gets good, it gets canceled again. Right when it starts to get good again. Yeah.
It's always the way.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and I think Sophie Aldred herself has said she really regrets that they never got to finish off Ace's story.
Yeah.
And it's a strange because you think if say the show ended when Janet Fielding was in it, she'd probably be like, okay, we can move on to something next. But we can see when it happened there, it caused a lot of sad regrets because people on it loved it.
Yeah.
And they wanted, that's kind of, it's always sad that way.
It is.
So, so you rate Curse of Fenric? What number would you give it?
A 9.
A 9. Cool.
Yeah, and then we get to survival. I guess we can start talking about that.
Was Lee not showing up in the backstage?
No, we can keep going though, and then he can join in. I only got about 10 more minutes anyway, and then I gotta head off.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Survival. I think it ends just as it was getting really. It ends a bit abruptly, just when it was getting really interesting. That one.
Yeah.
I think I kind of would have preferred it if, much of the story had been on the Cheetah planet, and when it returns to Earth, I think it loses something for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of. It's a decent ending. I mean, obviously, for me, the preferred ending for me would probably have been something like Enlightenment or State of Decay or the Five Doctors. But
yeah, I don't know if I'd rate it. Would you rate it as high as Curse?
Oh, definitely not. It's a 6 or 7 for me. It's a 6, probably 6.
Yeah, 6.5 for me, probably.
Yeah, I feel like the script's good, but I feel like the realization's a little bit. It doesn't quite match. It's not. It's like. It's like the script is sharp, but the visualization has its claws clipped, and it feels a bit. I don't know. It's just tastes a bit off. If you know what I mean. The tone's a bit off.
Yeah. Do you feel like it went too fast, or do you feel like there could have been more to it?
Too fast in the sense that ending was too abrupt. Yeah. I feel. You know what I think maybe they should have done? I think maybe they should have cut it mid-fight and ended the show on a huge cliffhanger. When the Doctor and Master are still fighting each other, I thought that's how to end the show.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they were going to do with Trial of the Time Lord, right? They were going to with the Valeyard and the Doctor, right? They were going to.
Well, that's what Robert Holmes and Eric Saywell were going to do, and JT was having none of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least still not here, so I guess you still having problems.
Yeah, well, we've pretty much covered everything, haven't we?
And we kind of have. I mean, I guess we could briefly talk about his appearance in the TV movie. But that was...
Best part of the film.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Maybe don't want to spoil it for, I don't know if Charlotte's seen it yet or not.
Okay.
Oh. Do you know, is Noel doing the stream right now? Or
he did one earlier on apparently Mandip Gill was chased off Twitter, so
cool, okay.
Yeah, I think it was just a short one he did.
Okay.
I think maybe he did the phone-ins, but I think he stopped easy. They're on pause for the minute, I think, shall we say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not too close to his circle, I suppose. I just know that I was used to the call-ins. Then I kind of heard that they'd been stopped.
Yeah, those are fun. I like doing those a lot. Yeah.
Do you ever consider going on or not?
I don't. What were you saying? Sorry.
The phone-ins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. So overall, you'd say of the McCoy era, you like more than dislike, like the because in terms of the ratings.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the second and third seasons I really enjoyed. First, maybe one
Yeah.
story I sort of enjoyed, but
The first season was a bit of a write-off, wasn't it? And it was probably always going to be, wasn't it?
yeah. So overall, how would you rate the era? Would you rate it like a 6?
Well, here's the thing. I feel like I like Remembrance. I like Greatest Show. I like Curse of Fenric.
Right.
I just feel like I was never. I don't know if I was a fan of him, a fan of his era, but I feel like one more season might have made all the difference and made me a fan. I feel like it was. I feel like it was just one more season. I think it was really getting there to being one of the.
Yeah.
Oh! So it's Noel's still doing the phone-ins. It's just later, and it starts at 8 instead.
Okay. Well, we'll have Lee talk for a few more minutes. He came back, and then
Oh, cool. All right.
Then I'll call the stream. All right, there he is.
Sorry, mate. I had to reboot my computer.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Gary. Gary's in the chat, and Disaster is in the chat.
Awesome. Hello, guys. Awesome.
Hello,
Yeah,
everybody. It's nice to see you here. For a
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
We're good for about how many more minutes? 10, 5 minutes?
5 minutes, yeah, and then I got to
5
start.
minutes. Okay,
I could go on forever, man. I've got the Duracell back. This man, I could go on forever. So where are we at before I got shot down by YouTube? Go on, tell me.
we finished them all.
Where are we? Did we leave off? Where did I go?
Right.
Without letting me give my opinion on the
Right, all right,
Ghost, not Ghostlight. What's the other one? Survival.
Okay.
How dare you do that?
Well, okay, right. Okay, Curse of Fenric.
Right,
Did
we've
we
got
get
two
your
more to go. Well, I did. You two, you're virtually into the next era now.
Right, okay. What?
Yeah.
Lee?
Yeah.
Right. Curse of Fenric, what do you reckon?
Right, so Curse of Fenric, bloody good.
Yeah.
I like a good vampire story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Nicholas Parsons played the part very well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was elements of darkness. What Doctor Who should be remembered for. There was that element build up with Dinsdale Landon or whatever he's called. What's his funny name? Isn't it that Dinsdale Linden? What's his name?
Oh, I don't know.
Reese, whatever. I can't remember his blood. He's a Welsh guy, but he's an actor.
Yeah.
What's his name? The one that's in the bloody wheelchair.
Oh, I don't know. Oh God.
Somebody in the chat will know. Come on, you're all experts. Come on, tell me.
Right.
Reese, it's Dinsdale. Sorry, Dinsdale Linden.
I'm gonna look him up.
Who cares, right? Right. He played it well, right? He played it well. I like the bit where he think it's the captain who's actually the baddie. It turns out to be him. So he rises from his wheelchair. I thought that was it. And he says, the game continues. Time Lord. With the green eyes lighting.
It was Dinsdale Landon. I just looked it up.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's the guy who's in also Rasputin as well. He got acid thrown in his face from Christopher Lee. So I remember very well, yeah. And we now know he is Fenwick. And we also learned from Fenwick that this is the bit where he knew he was playing Ace all the way through from the beginning of Dragonfire. He was controlling her situation right to this point. But the Doctor said, I already knew your hand was there. I knew it was you. Because they were playing chess, weren't they? Chess of death or something. And he couldn't move. So Ace helped him, didn't realise. So he gets out of it. So he's back in the game, as they say. And then the unmentionable creature, whatever that was, I couldn't put a name to it, killed him in the end in the gas chamber. So they all died together, happy.
Yeah, because I think the creature sees that Fenrick's using him the same way the Doctor was using Ace, and that's when he kind of, in a way, if you know what I mean.
Well, he was Ace to get the Doctor. It's obvious, isn't it? Because Ace was handpicked by him. He picked Ace. It was all predetermined.
Yeah,
That's what the story writers were looking for, right? That's what they were doing. So we learnt that from the story arc, right? This was the final conclusion to it. Then we go to survival.
Well, wait. Before we get to that, Gary's got some comments. Season 24. Season 24 was written as a generic Doctor, as Colin was hastily replaced.
Yes.
Season 25, the writers had done about the seventh Doctor, who is an individual incarnation, with layers slowly peeling away. Yeah.
Well, right, yeah. I mean, Carmel right in the
result. Baker had no choice, really. He had no legs to stand on by the time it came to the sort of ending in the Trial of Time. He had it.
Yeah.
Really, it was a basic. It wasn't about the bloody it wasn't about the name of the program, the name of the adventure. It was about the bloody program being put on bloody trial. Let's face it. They could have wrote a better story than that. But as they thought what has gone on with the hiatus and everything, the Doctor who is on trial, that's when he came up with the Trial of the Time Lord. And that's when we had trouble with Saward and Turner because of Bob Holmes' ill health, and he wanted to write the final two stories. And Turner says, I can't use I don't want to use them. I want Peter. I want a happy ending. But bloody Saward says, no, I want to put that in a bloody bang.
Gary Hewitt finishes off. Season 26, a darker manipulator in place, the Cartmel master plan. Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
Right, so where were we? We done the, what's it called, that one? Curse of Fenwick.
Yes, survival now.
We all know what the arc is, right? This was about Ace, like Dragonfire to the Curse, right? That was about Ace. That was her story. She was being manipulated. She was being played like a puppet, you know? And the Doctor knew that it was the hand of Fenwick. He saw his hand there. Right? So he knew it. He knew it. So anyway, getting back to the what's it, survival, yeah? Now, I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they were trying for, because we didn't see what really helped. We just saw this big flash and he'd gone. You know, did he die? Obviously, he didn't die. He went to the Silver Coast of Devastation as a child and escaped the Time War. We all know that now. That's how Russell T Davies wrote it. So I just didn't get it. You know, we had, I think we're going for everything. Comedians, sitcom artists, they're all in this one. Hale and Pace was in this one, for God's sake. A little bit in this one. They've gone to, where's Kitty or whatever it's bloody called? It's their bloody to death by that bloody black thing that was watching them on the wall.
The cat.
I thought Julian Holloway was over the top as this Hoff Sergeant Major, Drill Sergeant, or whatever, teaching these boys defense. I thought the idea of smelling fear was a good idea. I like the sense of that, because when people run, they go after you.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very good sort of thing. But for the rest of it, I just don't know. Adele Silver in it, which is a little girl went into Emmerdale Farm. Yeah. You know, Black she's in Emmerdale, This was her, that little girl, you know. That was her. I also had another EastEnders girl in it, which was little. Lucy, the one that was Tegan, and what's her name? Mr. were resorted to younger children. He's got these two little kids, the TARDIS. Because the further they go, the time is taken away from them, and they turn into children and get younger and younger and younger. That was one of them. Lucy, her name was. I can't remember. Married to Phil Mitchell or whatever. Anyone married to him, you're going to be boggering off anyway, isn't it? Right, so like I said, I've lost the thread, man. I can't find the whole eye in the needle. I've got the cotton, I've dropped the needle. Where are we? I've lost the thread. I've even dropped the thread now. Can you let me know where we are?
Survival. Survival, the last one.
Survival. It's what I'm trying to do myself. I'm trying to survive.
Yeah.
It's an appropriate name for the title. Survival. Yeah, I thought it was a great one, right? I didn't like some of the bloody convoluted
Yeah.
storyline, and I thought, I don't know what the purpose of bloody Hell and Pace was in there for. Comic effect, perhaps, because they were known on ITV. Yeah, so Nathan Turner again did the same old trick, you know, because they were sort of, it's like popular, say like Tegan was picked, right, because they were going to sell the bloody program in Australia, so they needed an Australian actress. That's what he was like. He was always doing things like that.
Oh yeah.
He's always doing things like that. And it's the same thing with comics and stuff like that. They're popular, let's put them in the show. That's going to get us more ratings. It's not, you know, because not a lot of people did like Alien Place, and I bet you didn't know that. I never watched them a lot. But like I said, right, he put in stuff in deliberately because he thought it was good for the show, for him. Because he was a bad judge of character. I never liked JNT as the bloody showrunner. I just felt that he just didn't know what he was doing towards the end. I know why he wasn't bothered at the end, because he stayed on the bloody show because bloody Powell promised him a place in, was it, to be a director in another show. That's what he wanted to do, he wanted to move on. Powell had never forgiven him for causing such a stinking 85 with his mates to stop the program going off the air, because they went into battle mode, and Turner was working him from behind. He wasn't allowed to get involved. He was there. He was master manipulating everything. And Turner, Powell, was going to get his revenge on him. He was going to promise him this and promise him that, because he didn't want a decent showrunner. Because if he got a decent showrunner in, the program would have been saved. End of story. He kept JNT because he's ruining it. He's destroying it. The budget's over. We didn't have enough budget. Turner was renowned for going, what was his name, Barry Bloody Cowley, on location to find the best shoots in Lanzarote, like Planet of Fire, shots in Lanzarote that was a bloody budget.
Gary Hughes got a good comment, or a sad comment actually. One of the two girls from Curse of Fenric died of alcohol intoxication. The ones who lived with the elderly lady. That's sad.
Yeah, I know the two.
I didn't know one of them had died.
I've never heard that before. But like I said, you must be
there was a.
I have no idea about that.
On the DVD, like there was footage from them being interviewed at a convention, and didn't know one of them had died since. Okay.
We've all got to die sometime, man.
I know, but they were in the prime of their life, though.
I think people want me to die quicker than others.
So out of 10, what's your rating?
Do we know their names? Do we know these actresses' names? Because I never remembered them. I only remember them for their vampire. They played the vampires, didn't they, or something?
I'll have to look.
But I don't know their names. You know, I don't think they were famous, were they? Sort of big actors, you know, on the outside. They got a role here and there.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, you look it up, mate, because I don't know where to look it up.
Right, Curse of Fenric. There's a cast list. What were the names? There was,
which we're trying to do now, actually, all of us. So, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was all right. Nicholas Parsons, I thought he did a very good job as that vicar. He was, put it this way, he was convincing, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
He was convinced you as a vicar. That's the point. Actors convince you that is real.
Oh, yeah.
But what does an actor do? He imitates emotions.
Oh, yeah.
That's what an actor does. And if he's good at imitating emotions, he's got the audience.
Oh, yeah.
He's drawing the audience.
Yeah.
Toward him, because that's why people put their lives into Coronation Street, because they think that's real, right? You know, I know, he knows, Tom, Dick and Harry knows. It isn't real. It's a studio with a cut-out pub, with a sound man above him. with a bleeding lighting man just in front, just out of shot. We all know it's there, but some
Right.
people that sort of romanticism that it's real. You know, it's a
Right.
real. You know, it's real people. But I
Right.
tell you what, the actresses in the 60s were real. You know, like Elsie Tanner, she was a real character, a real person. She played it
I've looked it up.
herself. Were real for people, and
I've looked it up. Her name was Joanne Kenny, and she died in 2010.
Let's
see.
No.
Well, supposedly,
okay. Then what about the other one?
I think she's. Her name was. Just a minute. Her name was. Just a minute. Her name was. Joanne Bell was the other girl, but I think she's still alive. See. She died at 41. She was 41 when she died.
41. Okay.
I felt like I died as well sometimes.
Fair enough.
As we sit here watching this. Very good. I'm really glad to know about it. I'm really in a great mood now. You told me a depressing story. Right, let's get back to what we're doing. Let's be positive here, yeah? Let's be happy, not depressed.
Right, so what do you rate Survival then?
So anyway,
Survival. Yeah.
Survival is Nicholas Parsons played him properly because you could believe he was a vicar, right? You could believe it. So it was watchable. I thought Sophia Aldred gave a good performance, but I thought the Russian guy was good as well. You know, the guy who played the Russian guy. He was convincing, you know, as a Russian soldier.
Sure.
I wasn't sure about the herbivores or whatever they're bloody called, those things that came out the wall with. I don't know what vampires, or were they just relics of the Vikings or what? I don't know. Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Gary Hewitt, what is your favorite McCoy story? Gary says Remembrance.
Cool.
Nice.
Right, let me think. Right, you go first. It's your penknife. It's your show. I'll let you castrate yourself first. You go with the first one. Go on.
We've already done Survival. My favorite is probably Remembrance. Probably Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Well, that's it.
I'll say
David,
Remembrance. I'll say
David,
Remembrance.
your turn, mate.
I'll say Remembrance. What else? Curse of Fenric. Greatest Show in the Galaxy. What's another one? What's that other one I liked? I did like elements of Battlefield, not the whole thing. Yeah, those are probably my top ones.
My favourite one was the Twin Dilemma.
Oh God!
I said that just to throw it in to see the effects I would get for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the.
Is he only that? No, I thought a couple of stories from Trial of the Time Lord was good.
Yeah.
The one where Colin Baker gives a good speech. That was particularly good. I hated the bloody interruptions by the jury, though. You know, they took you out the moment. The best story out of all, was it 12 he did? Was it 12? Not including the, I don't know, he did one season, didn't he? 84, and then he was a year with the attack. I like the Attack of the Cybermen, right? I like the Attack of the Cybermen. The reason why, because there's plenty of deaths in it. It was a massacre, it was a bloodbath. I love that one. I like the way the Cybermen were dropping like flies and guns and being shot at. Heads were being thrown all over the place. I like the bit where the Cyberman gets up and then he throws that iron bar right over it. Bang! Knocks his head off. That was classic. But Mary Whitehouse got on her eye also again, and the children will be sickened by that decapitation. Also decapitate her.
That we've covered everything, haven't we?
I think we've covered it.
Not everything. So we've got to do the whole series here. We've got to mark it out of what is it? Out of 10 for the whole Sylvester McCoy seventh Doctor appreciation stream, whatever. You got to give it on a whole. What would you give it? On his performance, his acting, some of the lackluster stories you can forgive, just to say he did what he could for the best he had to play around with. All right. So put that into context. And, take it from there. So put it all in, all the episodes. I suppose you could throw in the Trial of the Time Lord as well, because there's some good, powerful performances there as well. Okay, so I'll let you go first.
All right, so I would say, putting everything into consideration, I would give it. Since I admit he is one of my favorite Doctors. I'll put his era as a 7.
7.
Right, you want my opinion now, yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
Go on.
Right, okay. The first season, I would have given him a 1 out of 10 because it was terrible. Right?
It is. Yeah.
It wasn't the best, but as he went along, as I said, he started to improve by the end of the second season, and we got some good stories towards the end. By because Cartmel taken over by this time, because Turner was sort of loosened his grip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He froze. And all my travellings across the universe out fighting evil power. Okay.
Oh, it's 11:50.
I'm back. I'm in your face.
Right. I think Dave's got to go soon. Haven't you, Dave?
Right,
I gotta go pretty soon.
I'll give it like, on a whole a fair 5 out of 10 for the whole period of Sylvester McCoy.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Not
because
bad.
like I said, it was a poor start. The middle was a bit sort of 50-50 which way it was going to go. And towards the end, it started to make sense. It started to sort of assert himself. Another season, and I think he would have done it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think he was becoming more darker. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was becoming more darker. More darker. You remember that one with the Silver Nemesis, right? A Lady Penrose, Penfrey, or whatever she's called, yeah? She knew the secret that we didn't know. Was that about the Time War? Was that what you were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Was she actually talking about the Time War? Was that the big secret that he was hiding away? Was he because David Tennant was the Lord of Time as it was revealed by Davis, right? Yeah. But was that the Time War? Because there are snippets there with Tom Baker sent by the Time Lords to eradicate the Daleks, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't do it. So that led to the Daleks doing what they did, taking the course of action that they would do, like obliterate everything in front of them. And we have, I just don't know. I thought that it was badly executed by Moffat with Gallifrey. All it was some great images of Gallifrey. There was nothing there,
we might have to we'll get into that another time. I think David's got to go, hasn't he?
You got to go, David.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, well, we'll do that watch along, right? We'll do that watch along next time. What, another week or two?
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah. That's going to be the next one, I think.
Yeah. Shall we plug ourselves? Shall we plug ourselves before we go?
Do it.
Right, I'll go last.
Do we have time?
Because I've got too much to say for myself.
Right. All right. Well, thanks so much, Sadako and Lee, my friends. Thanks so much, Gary, Disaster, Charlotte. You guys are awesome as well, and Disaster, of course. All right. This has been a fun stream. Take care. Peace.
Okay. Bye now. Bye, everyone.
Right. Shall I?
Go for it.
All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.